respected, seek out the best.
2 words to describe the activity.
The Yoruba Unity Forum is conducted.
Be the first to know. From the north, south, east, west, and around Africa. We break the news. Now you can catch all the actions live as the news spreads. We are Core TV News.
Welcome to Core TV Primetime News.
24-hour news station.
Thanks for staying with us on Core Digest Thursday. I'm Anthony Oguntoye. As we, of course, do a Core Digest on the presidential media charts that was held yesterday. We're joined now by Nelson EKUJIMI, who's a public affairs analyst. Thank you very much for finding time to
Good morning, thank you, and good morning to our viewers.
Barrister Wale OGUNADE is still very much with us. A big thank you for staying the course on the show this morning.
Thank you.
All right, the phone lines will be coming up onto your screen when you call in and able to turn down the volume of your TV screen so we can have a crystal clear communication. Don't forget that there is a little delay between what we say here and what you hear on your StarTimes device. And if you can't reach us on the phone this morning, you can follow us on Twitter at Core Digest Live, and we can get all your comments and your contributions via that medium. You can also watch us from anywhere in the world. All you need to do is download the WALE TV application on your internet device, and you can be able to watch us via that medium as well. Okay, Barrister, earlier before we went on the break, we were talking about all of these issues, especially certain submissions that Mr. President made yesterday. But would you agree that this administration had received all of the support that it needs at this trying time, especially when we talk about fighting insurgency?
What other support? People have been coming with various views about how to tackle the Boko Haram issue. International agencies have come with various support in terms of logistics, in terms of funding. I know countries like US, France, Britain. I'm talking about Britain. I remember that something, Safe School Initiative. What other support? So many support from all over the world.
I'm talking about support from Nigeria.
I started with Nigerians. We have supported. We've done Bring Back Our Girls campaign. We've done all we can in terms of advocacy. Nigerian people have done. And I want to believe the political class have done. I said the mistake the government has done, particularly the presidency, is the mistake of labeling the opposition APC, Boko Haramers. And I want to believe with that, they too now folded their arms. I want to believe. I'm not a member of the APC, but I want to believe that, well, if you accuse us, let's wait. Because there's no need in working with you since you have already accused us.
Now, so do you agree with him, especially at such a time, for instance, the National Security Advisor talked about clamping down on Boko Haram within 6 weeks. The kind of reaction we got from Nigerians wasn't quite supportive or patriotic, so to speak.
No, you see, Nigerians have a sense of history behind them. Since this battle against Boko Haram started, Nigerians have come out in their millions. Even we've had support from the international community. Like what Barrister Wale OGUNADE rightly said, even Nigerians have formed vigilantes. Don't forget that there are civilian JTFs there. So what other support are we talking about? But the truth of the matter is that the government has been very, very insincere with this battle against Boko Haram. The government has played politics with this battle all the way. You can see from the utterances, from the actions of the government. Look at the military. It's not that our military are that bad. This is the same military that has gone on peacekeeping missions, that have fought in war situations in Liberia, in Sierra Leone, and they came on gallantly, they performed gallantly, and they came on with laurels. But what do we have today? We have today a situation whereby the National Security Advisor went to London and told the whole world that the Nigerian soldiers who refuse to fight are cowards. It means to you that something is fundamentally wrong. And don't forget, even at a point in time, we heard that the junior officers revolted, which is called mutiny. As we are sitting down here today, over 70 officers have either been convicted for mutiny or are standing trial. So it shows to you that the major battle we have with us is the insincerity of the government in combating Boko Haram. So the issue of 6 weeks does not even arise. Because if you look at the statement of Mr. President yesterday, I was taken aback. Mr. President said he was not in the know of the security advice given to INEC about the security situation in the country. And I asked myself, I looked around and I asked people, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces? Who did the security chiefs report to? The security chiefs are not responsible to Professor Jega of INEC. They are responsible to the president. If we are to take the statement of Mr. President as the truth, then it means Mr. President is no longer in charge of the security of lives and properties of Nigerians, which he swore on oaths to do when he was sworn in.
Just a minute. I understand that we have Tochukwu on the line calling from Anambra. Good morning, Tochukwu.
Good morning, Ifeanyi. Good morning to Mr. Wale and your guests over there.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, my brother.
Please go ahead.
Please, let me first of all disagree with your last guest that said that it is government insincerity that is causing problem. I think it is the insincerity of Nigerians. Please, let us for once be very, very sincere with ourselves. To me, there is nothing such as government. This is just, I see government as a kind of an abstract. It is you and I that have been playing politics with security. You and I, me and you. People responsible for this problem we are facing. It is high time as Nigerians who face the issue. Security is everybody's business. And let me tell you the truth. Barack Obama is succeeding in America because the system has been built. If you bring Barack Obama to Nigeria, you will fail woefully. I am telling you the truth. You will fail woefully because the system has not been built in Nigeria. And that is what we should look forward to build. President Goodluck Jonathan, whatever we are one day, whether it is tomorrow or less. And the Nigeria will still be there for you and I. So that is why at this point in time, we will do everything possible, humanly possible, to protect our democracy, irrespective of what party is in power, whether be it APC or be it PDP. Another thing again is the issue of conspiracy theory. We will begin ourselves to stop using conspiracy theories of whether the election was shifted to favor a particular party or the other. Because the implication of placing such conspiracy theory is to those who believe that there is a sinister move by INEC and Daga to outdo the southern part of this country. So these are the conspiracy theories that we will now come up. There are many of it, and we will begin ourselves to not emphasize more on conspiracy theory for rather face the issue. Finally, I want to reaffirm my support that the Independent National Electoral Committee, as far as this regime is concerned, is very much independent. As against what we saw during the regime of Obasanjo, we have appointed somebody from our side, Moni Siwu, as the annex chairman. And we saw the next TV. There is virtually no decision annex takes after that time that Obasanjo was not consulted. But you saw what President Goodluck said in the Nigeria, that he was not even consulted by Nigeria, and the guy is still alive to control the election. So please let us support our institutions and build our institutions. That is my contribution today.
Thank you very much for your contribution to Juku. But you heard him say one very, very important statement that has always been in the media for a while. The fact that the challenge here isn't the personality of the leadership, but the system that is being operated in this part of the world. What's your position on that take?
Yeah, I agree with him. That's the system we're operating in, because ordinarily, security, like we all know, is everybody's business. We are running a unitary system of government. In Nigeria, it is somebody who is not wearing the shoe that is feeling the pains. If we have a federal system of government like we have on paper, but not in reality, the system will work, whereby you will be in charge of your affairs and not somebody who is millions of miles away from your environment, who does not know how your environment looks like, who is the one dictating the pace of affairs of your life. Like they say, you cannot shave a man's head in his absence. Okay. But the opposite is the case in Nigeria. But by and large, the issue is not about the insincerity of Nigerians or that Nigerians are not supportive. It's that the government of the day is insincere. I repeat it again. I'll give you instances. The chief of defense staff, at a point in time, told us that the Chibok girls, where the abducted girls have been, taken to, have been identified. and he said they were going to release them, that they were not going to use force. It's well over 4 or 5 months now. Again, the government came out at a point in time and told us that the girls have been released. Later we discovered it was a hoax. They withdrew their statement. Again, the government came out and told us that they've reached a ceasefire with the Boko Haram people. Don't forget, before they said they reached a ceasefire with Boko Haram, the president has always told us that Boko Haram was a faceless group that they cannot discuss with ghosts. So when they said they reached a ceasefire, you wondered when it became possible for the living to discuss with ghosts. And don't forget, ceasefire can only be reached by 2 parties and not 1 party. And when the government made mention of the ceasefire, we alerted Nigerians and said, look, be careful. Ceasefire is not a one-way traffic, it's a 2-way thing. Just because immediately they announced the ceasefire, Boko Haram increased their onslaught. And a week after, the government came out and said there was no ceasefire. Again, we now had, when the director of publicity or spokesperson of DSS, Marinoga, came on air and said they have arrested some people who defrauded the Nigerian government, in negotiating the ceasefire. So you can, at least any rational mind must be able to decipher that, look, these people have not been truthful.
On the contrary, let me bring you in, Barrister. Some would also say that relatively Nigerian government seem to be making some sort of progress in the area of fighting insurgency in northeast Nigeria. There has been cases of recapturing from Boko Haram some local governments in Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe, so to speak. But would you say that all of the things he has listed are enough for Nigerians not to believe the proposition of Mr. President that within the 6 weeks, all of these 14 local governments, because you also recall that before now it was more than 14. It is as a result of onslaught from the Nigerian military that has reduced this local governments to 14. Would you say that all of these reasons are enough not to believe the proposition of Mr. President?
Well, unfortunately, I don't envy your job this morning. You want to be a devil's advocate. Go on, and of course, I will do the real-time advocate here. And I want people who are watching or listening, wherever it is, to know that I'm sure my colleague and I are activists. We are not politicians. We are here to tell the truth as we see it, as Nigerians who are on the field, who go around Nigeria. Not that we are here to promote any political party or any political ideology. The ideology I know I am promoting, and I'm sure he is promoting, is good governance and the promotion of democracy. And democracy can only work when the truth is there. If there is no truth and you are not doing things the way it should be done, then definitely there will be all this wahala that we see on ground. It can't be any 2 ways. So the issue is that it's quite clear that the Boko Haram thing has not been given the fight it deserves to be given. It is quite clear that they did not start from one local government. Let's even assume now that they have captured 14 local governments. But the issue is that it's neither here nor there. I won't be surprised if I get out of the studio now, the news will break that again Boko Haram have captured another town. Or even they have captured a whole local government. All they are doing now is that they want to capture one state capital, to have a whole state capital. They've run from Damaturu. They are now struggling to get, is it Borno State, Maiduguri. So, where are we? The issue is that government will come out clean on this, that we have problems. Even I tell you, there are many Nigerian youths who wants to join the military and fight the insurgents. But have government created the enabling environment? Have government given these people that latitude that, look, come, let us defend Nigeria? And have it been done with clear sincerity?
Just a minute. Let's get to the phone lines. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is John from Lagos.
John, go ahead with your contribution.
Please, I want to disagree totally 100% with Tochukwu contribution, because to say the facts, I agree with the speaker that spoke to us before Tochukwu. The truth is that the government of the day, Mr. President, is insincerity to address Nigeria concerning what is happening. And we find it very difficult to believe on him and his government. There is no way he can convince us of all the promises that he has promised. I have no shoe, I have no bar, and this of 2011. He could not fulfill any of it. In that state of insecurity, let us be frank. Let us not deceive ourselves. The federal government will come out and say this, and Boko Haram will come out and say this. The truth is that the government is insincere concerning the security issue. And I 100% agree with your new guest in the stadium. Thank you.
It's all right. Thank you very much for your contribution, John, from Lagos. Well, let's begin to touch on some other interesting issues that also came up during these media chats. There were issues as we got giving Professor Tahiru Jega a terminal leave. There were insinuations prior to this time that he should be sacked and all of that. But Mr. President was clear that he wasn't going to do that. What are your thoughts along that line?
Well, thank you very much. First and foremost, I've become used to Mr. President saying one thing and doing the opposite. I take that statement by Mr. President with a pinch of salt. One, the issue of terminal leave of the INEC chairman does not even exist in the Constitution. I was briefed by a lawyer and he said there's no provision for his going on leave. But mind you, we have seen a resurgence of ethnicity in the attack against Professor Jega by Mr. President's party as well as his campaign committee spokesperson, Femi Fani-Kayode. They have started alluding to the fact that Jega is working with the APC to return the presidency to the North. And this is very, very dangerous for all of us. If there's one crime President Jonathan has committed repeatedly against the Constitution of Nigeria, it is the ethnicization and promotion of religious disharmony among the Nigerian people. And it is totally unacceptable. It is satanic. This was the same Professor Tahiru Jega who conducted election in 2011. And President Goodluck Jonathan won. Nobody saw that he was promoting an ethnic agenda.
Apart from what Femi Fani-Kayode says, what Mr. President said yesterday was clear. He faulted the claim by Professor Jega that INEC was ready for the elections. He said the information given to him by security chiefs was that the poor distribution of PVCs could cause or could have caused a security challenge in the country.
Then it means somebody is lying to the Nigerian people again, because Professor Jega told the whole world that the security chiefs told him that they cannot guarantee security for the elections. And don't forget, Mr. President sent his national security advisor, who is responsible to Mr. President because he was appointed by Mr. President, Colonel Sambo Dasuki retired, to go to London and fly that kite of postponement. And we saw it come to play. And again, I want to use this opportunity to alert Nigerians that the sincerity of Mr. President to allow the conduct of the 2015 general elections come March 28 is doubtful. If you look at Mr. President's statement, he said if the elections is conducted, that is a conditional statement. It is not an affirmative statement. We must begin to read between the lines what Mr. President is telling us. He said if the elections are conducted and if I lose, there are too many ifs. Please let people go and listen to Mr. President's
just a minute. Let me get to the barrister. But is there anything wrong in Mr. President faulting the operations of INEC? Because in your earlier remarks today, you were also of the opinion that INEC's preparation for this election was poor.
You see, we are talking about sincerity. Excuse me. The president knows that they are going to have an election this year. And INEC is an agency of government under his control and under his care. That's his now means Jonathan. And one will expect that for his good name, for his reputation, and to clear all these doubts, insinuation, and perception that the president said yesterday, you put your house in order. Oga Jega, what is it that you need? Oga Jega, what do you need? You Nigerian people have been calling this man, no, it is his responsibility to organize election, no. All this PVC that he's talking about, all this card reader that he's talking about, I've told him he should put his house in order. No postponement to, I will not give him time, will not allow it to. He will be on the front burner, ensuring that people are, then we'll be on the same page with the president, that yes, our president is honest about the world. And now that I want to thank God for the opportunity yesterday, and Mr. President blew that opportunity again. When would I expected that yesterday when they were asking him those probing questions or those statements, those questions, he will have made categorical statements on some issues, particularly the Chibok girls, particularly the issue of those sounding the drums or beating the drums of war. That is not a question to be evasive or to answer lackadaisically. As the president, look, this country rests on his shoulder. This country looks up to him because he is our president. And we expect that things will be done presidentially.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Call Digest.
Prince calling from Owerri.
Prince from Owerri.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead with your contribution, Prince.
Okay, well, my concern is that it's unfortunate for anyone to compare us with the U.S., especially the leadership in U.S. You can see that in U.S., the leaders are very, very serious with the affairs of the citizens. But here, our leader is not taking care of the affairs of the citizens. How do you want us, when there is a problem in the leadership in this country, you are calling the citizens to round up and support the president? So when there is enjoyment, you will not take the citizenship. We have a friend who is drinking a cup of tea of 1 million. You won't call the citizens come over and join them to drink such 1 million cup of tea. But the US will do it. So that Barrister Wale said initially that in US, there is an oil place. But the US government go there and clear it and demand 3 quarters from it. Where is our president? Where can that happen in this country? So what is happening in our own case, our leaders are so cunning. And when you discover that a man is so cunning, you begin to use, watch him with one side of your eye. And listen to me, in a family where the father is not truthful, there's no way the children will trust him. Anytime you make a the children will laugh over you say, let us be watching. Let us be watching. That's what is happening in this leadership. I think our president especially should come up and be truthful to this nation. Be truthful to Nigeria. And I'm telling you, Nigeria will rise up to uphold him. But if the watch is coming, it's coming in a funny way, it's coming in a way that is so deceitful. And I do want to, Nigerians are wise. That's one thing you know.
It's all right, Prince. Thank you very much for your contribution.
So let me just quickly bury what I'm saying. My brother just established it from Owerri. And the issue is that I expected that President Jonathan would just come out, use the opportunity of yesterday to say, look, Nigerians, I agree that indeed things have gone wrong seriously. We have not been so forthcoming. Okonjo-Iweala was going that way the other day. I guess it was a conference she held in London, that they were not being honest, that they did not handle the Chibok issue very well. Okonjo-Iweala was that truthful.
They were dishonest with it before.
And I would have expected that yesterday, Jonathan would have used this opportunity to say, Nigerians, please, I'm now born again. In fact, I've been going to various churches. I've been prayed on, and I'm now born again. And I can assure you that now, you see a new me before the elections. Then they will ask him questions, he will answer truthfully. And people will take him for it. And look, I'm sure if I leave the studio now, you go on the social media, you will see when Nigerians will react.
Listen, you talked about the idea that Professor Jega was praised for the 2011 election. And you also talked about certain insinuations coming from the PDP about a probable connivance between INEC and the APC. But the fact that he did well in 2011 doesn't mean that he's doing well now in 2015. And if the PDP thinks that a meeting was held in Dubai, isn't that left for the APC and the INEC to come clear their names as far as that allegation is concerned?
No. He who alleges must prove. You see, it is not proper. If the presidency started this battle of ethnicizing the conduct of Professor Jega and INEC a long time ago. I was one of those who wrote a statement about it. They used a group called Afenifere to allege that the creation of 30,000 polling units was skewed in favor of a particular part of the region. You see, my problem with we human beings is that if somebody is not behaving well, let's say my friend you are not behaving well, this is not the proper way to behave. Stop telling the man you are behaving this bad because you are an Igbo man, or you are behaving this bad because your color is black. Your color or where you come from has nothing to do with your character. They are two different things. So what we are saying, INEC is a national institution. Look at what the Nigerian government has done to the President Goodluck Jonathan government has done to the military and the DSS. Look at the issue between when DSS said they went to, they invaded APC data center that APC wanted to hack. Then later they came and said they wanted to clone PVC. Look at the statement of Professor Jega. He put a light to it straight away. That our data is not on the internet, how can they hack into it? Look at the military. I feel ashamed because I remember when I was growing up, we saw the military as a symbol of unity of Nigeria. The military was the epitome of discipline. The military was the representative of the values of the Nigerian people. You see a military man with khaki, and if you touch the khaki, it could tear your hand because of the level of the neatness and starch on it. But today, a general who served in the military and became head of state, the military shamelessly came on air and said they don't have his records with them.
And what's shameful about saying the truth? If they don't have
saying the truth, it means that organization has a fundamental. If somebody can work in Court TV and the management of Court TV say they don't have his certificate, then Court TV is not a serious body. Yeah, that is what it implies. It means your organization is an organization of anything goes. Anybody can just walk in here and start working.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Call Digest.
Hello?
Yeah, can you turn down the volume of your TV set? I didn't get that.
Yes.
What's your name? Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Owerri. I'm some at the PC of Coral.
Okay.
Calling from Owerri, yeah.
Let's go ahead.
I will that time. But what I want to say now is our president, Goodluck, is not a spirit to know what is going on. He has divided his rulership to ministers who are helping him, like that's our brother who is INEC chairman. He has to finish everything than to say our president. Our president does not do anything to know whether this voter card are ready or not. It is for that INEC chairman to know whether he is proposing or not. If Goodluck is talking to say postpone or it is not a false prophet. It is not a false prophet who will say something we don't know. So it was not our brother, the INEC chairman, who is supposed to see that everything is now in order.
The 20th election is going to be very interesting because from the same Owerri, we have someone supporting Mr. President.
That is if it's
the other way. But let us look at this issue. Of course, Mr. President cleared the air that he wasn't going to sack Professor Jega. Who really has that legal responsibility to hire or fire the INEC chairman?
Anyway, the constitution is clear that the president will nominate somebody whose name will be sent to the National Assembly for the purposes of verification and eventual appointment. So it is the National Assembly that will confirm that appointment. And after the appointment has been confirmed, if indeed the appointee rather is found wanting one way or the other, the person before is disappointed now, his name will be forwarded, bringing out all those things that he has done for him to warrant that disappointment. They will be taken to the National Assembly for a ratification. Then after that, they've debated it, look at it, and of course, they will now send him packing.
Whatever the case is.
But again, the second leg is that in this situation, we call it statutory flavor. Once there are some people whose appointments are political, and some they are just civil service, right? And for Jega, his own appointment is laced with statutory flavor that he has a 4-year term certain. The issue of terminal leave or not, that one to me is just, they just want to introduce politics and color it, right, to ensure that, to take that advantage of time. But be that as it may, and that's why I said earlier on that we must follow the law. We are not here to promote politics. I'm not a politician. I have never been one, and I'm not one. As an activist, mine is to ensure, and as a lawyer, mine is to ensure that the rule of law, democracy, accountability prevails, and things are done in that regard. Anything short of this, you won't find me there, because I hold tenaciously, and anybody who is talking and who calls in and says something, he knows what he's saying. And that's why we look at Isaiah 5:20. I've already told anybody who cares to listen all the time. The Bible says, woe unto him. Woe. If you see true, you call it lie. You see black, you call it white. The Bible says, woe unto you. So why would I come here and sit down and say things that I don't know? Or things that I know are bad, I say is good. For what? I don't know Jonathan. I've never met him. I don't know Buhari. I've never interacted with him. So what is my own done for the betterment of Nigeria?
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to Call Digest.
Okay. My name is Bello. I'm calling from Oshobo.
Bello from Oshobo. Go ahead with your contribution, please.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Go ahead with the contribution. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm there.
All right, go ahead, please.
The other speaker was talking about bringing the military into politics.
Okay.
Yes. What that like the speaker said, somebody work with your core television. He's getting another job somewhere. He has to produce his certificate. Then he says, my certificate is core television. That is not done. That is not done. He has to produce it.
It's all right. I'm afraid we can't go ahead with that call. When you call in, just turn off your TV set so that we can do without the feedback distortion. We're rounding up now. And now that the elections have been postponed by 6 weeks, and INEC also, in good faith, has extended the collection of the PVCs by 4 weeks, are we optimistic that all of these challenges will subside in time?
Yes, in life we must be optimistic because we are here by the grace of God, and we pray that tomorrow we'll see tomorrow and days after. I want the Nigerian people to remain resolute, but to be eternally vigilant, because like we say, eternal vigilance is the price for liberty. From the conduct of Mr. President yesterday, it gives little or no hope about that election holding come March 28th. And with the avalanche of allegations being raised now against the credibility of the head of the electoral body, don't be surprised if by tomorrow President Jonathan now says Jega should go, he should step aside so that they investigate the allegations against him. They're already building it up, and they are all ethnic-based allegations, which any discerning mind, any lover of democracy and the Nigerian people can see through, that the presidency and his party don't want the conduct of the 2015 general election. The reasons why they don't want it is best known to them, because the postponement was a coup against democracy. Under the law, what the service chiefs have done was treason, because they have just told the Nigerian people that, look, what we swore on oath to do, we can no longer do.
Mr. President also made mention that the May 29 handover date is sacrosanct.
To who and through what process? To who and through what process? That is the question we should be asking. May 29 is sacrosanct based on the fact that we conduct a credible election. But a situation whereby the principal even without being asked, he re-echoed what he told Sambo Dasuki to go and say in London. It shows to you that there's a plot. Look at the issue of the militants threatening war. When Mr. President was asked that question, yes, you expected the president to say, no, that is condemnable, my government will not tolerate it, I have directed the security agencies to act on it. That is a precedent for you. But see the way Mr. President played around the issue. And one thing about Mr. President is that on all issues on his media chat, I find it very annoying that Mr. President takes the issues of Nigerians, their welfare, as joke. The lives of over 160 million people is in the hands of Mr. President.
Sorry, Barrister, let's quickly round this up. How exactly, what's the role of the electorate in all of this? Because many have suggested a voter apathy, a situation whereby the enthusiasm of the Nigerian electorate has been dampened because of the postponement.
Yeah, talking about voter apathy, I want to use this opportunity, thank God for this question and this opportunity, to tell Nigerians who have not collected their PVC to go collect it. I went around some some voter card collecting centers on Sunday and Friday, and I wasn't really encouraged. Even before their postponement story, there are so many cards lying there in the various units. No doubt there is a problem of communication. Some people don't know where their cards are. So that's a big problem. And I'll use this opportunity to talk to INEC that they should devise means of getting the people to know. Maybe they will put town criers on town. We will do our own little bit, but I know that we need more people, more hands on deck to ensure that this information goes round, for people to know where their cards are. It's not for you to say, yes, the voters' cards are there, but they are not collected. Because people will go to the wrong place looking for their voters' card, whereas it's not there. You see, like these ones now, you believe at the end of the day, they may not be there. Maybe those people that you are seeing on the screen now, their voters' card will be in another community. Like some few days ago, a lady called me that she is in Alakbere K2 Ward primary school. Whereas eventually I now told her to send 2120, that's text, her name, her address, her name. That's if you register in Lagos. If you don't know your status so far, if you register in Lagos, your surname, 21, then the 5.
Let me help you. Let them go to the website, www.
No, not many people have this. Not many people have the opportunity of website.
No, let me give those who have. www.govote.ng/pickup. It will tell you.
Repeat again.
www.govote.ng/pickup. It will tell you where your cards are. Like you rightly said, there are some people who registered in, maybe they registered on this side of the camp. When the date for the collection of PVC came, they were going to this side. It took some of us to remind them that I saw your name there now. Oh, I've forgotten that was where I registered, because I saw everybody going this way. So that one is also a problem for us.
We can have the SMS alternative.
So the SMS alternative is that they write on their phone their surname, the state where they registered.
Okay.
For those who are listening outside Lagos, so any state in which you register, if you have not gotten your PVC, the state, if it's Kebbi, if it's Lagos, if it's Oyo or Ogun, first, then your surname. Then the last 5 numbers on your voter's identification number, we call it VIN, voter's identification number. The last 5 from the left, from the right, last 5. Then you send those things to 2120. 2120. Once you do that, there will be a message to tell you your status. Yes, then you use that to now look around. So the lady phoned me. I now told her to do that. She now said the information told her that it is somewhere in the neighborhood. She went there. She now called me back that she has collected it. Simple. No wahala. These are issues that one will expect INEC to pull in. And those of you who are phoning us or saying that we people don't want to support government, what else do you want us to do if not this one? So to us, Nigeria belongs to all of us. You play your role. I'm playing mine.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for finding time to join us today. WALE OGUNADE is President Voters Initiative Awareness. Voters Awareness Initiative. I beg your pardon. Thank you for finding time to join us today. Now, EKUJIMI is a public affairs analyst. We appreciate you for coming. We hope that you find time to join us subsequently. It's a wrap on Call Digest this morning. A big thank you to Abdulaziz from Elore, Israel called in from Lagos, Elda Okoro called in from Owerri, as well as Prince, who called in from Imo State, Tochukwu called in from Anambra. We had John's call from Lagos and Bello called in from Osogbo. Don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at Call Digest Live. The show continues tomorrow. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Thanks for being there.
Nigerians are expected to seek out the best. 2 words to describe the activity. The Yoruba Unity Forum is conducted.
Be the first to know from the north, south, east, west, and around Africa. We break the news. Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are Core TV News.
Welcome to Core TV Primetime
Our
News.
24-hour news